It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I've been joined by Alexander Kiesl and Stefan Hacker, who are the directors of Rebirth Home Sweet Home. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you. We're happy to be here.
Wow, what an experience this film is. I'll start by saying that I'm not a big video game guy, so I don't know that side of it. I only can kind of judge this on the film's merit. So whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure. But my film is my only knowledge of this.
That's actually, in this case, it's actually perfect because the game is actually a very famous Thai video game, but it's more a scare game. So that means you're walking in dungeons and buildings, and it's dark, and you have these scary moments. But we wanted to add a little bit more of an action fantasy element to it. So that's why we veered off slightly.
Because if you're not playing, the drama of being like of something being behind the corner is immediately less. So we
Yes.
said if we adapted one to one,
Yeah.
it will not be as fascinating as it is to the audio. Like if you're playing it, super scary, yes. But if you're just watching someone do it, not as scary anymore. Which means the film had to be different, and we spiced it up with action,
Yeah.
with drama, and with way more fantasy.
And also more people to feel with because like in the game it's just one character that encounters all the elements, but we have a family, we have like a bad guy, a tool guy to help the evil. So yeah, there is more to deal with.
So that was going to be one of my questions is when you found this project, how how much did you want to observe the video game? How strict did you want to be in terms of that? Or, like you've just mentioned about making it for the wider audience with, the family element, because that is, I think is one thing if you're fearful for yourself, but it adds an extra layer of fear if it's for loved ones.
Actually, the creators of the game asked us to widen it up. So the initial idea was tied very closely to the end of the second game, not the online ones. And then during the production and during editing, it got more wide and more loose. So it's not as closely connected to games anymore, which means a bigger audience can enjoy it.
They actually wanted to open it up for the third game, but they said like let's get a new story element in. Don't necessarily stick to the Thai mythology. Go a bit wider. Go more Hollywood. Let's call it this way. And yeah, so we added lots of different elements which are always tied to the game, but during the editing we realized that everything which was made to be tied to the game would only make sense for the hardcore gamers, but for the audience it would raise more question marks. So that's why, yeah, kill your darlings sometimes. So got rid of some scenes. Yeah.
I'm really interested to know at what point in the creative process were the decisions made about where the film was set, where the family was from, and why they were there, and all of those sorts of reasons. I'm really interested to know with the process of from receiving the script to shooting the film, why those decisions were made.
The decision to be for the set to be in Thailand, for the whole film to be playing in Thailand was like from the very beginning because it's a Thai mythology based game. So all locations and everything definitely had to be there. Again, our family being from the States, being more international, came in with the desire to be more international. So hence our actors. Yeah, so that was for the international feel to it.
So initially, of course, we could have made them British. Well, but William Moseley pulled off such a convincing US officer, and throughout the entire movie, like kept. Oh, not that we are experts, but we found his US accent very convincing. So them as a family, and Yaya Sperbund, his wife, she is Norwegian, Thai, but raised with being a native English speaker, and her daughter, Kira Hedden, as well, which meant that both of them were fluent in English, and
Yeah.
it was totally believable that they're family from the US.
Yeah, I really, really like that. I thought that was a really nice touch. as if they were, because obviously without giving, I don't think this gives anything away, but they're in Thailand to visit the grandmother,
Exactly.
and so it gives a good reason for them to be there. It wasn't crowbarred in.
Yeah, exactly. That again, don't want to give too much away, but same with the background story. That he's a guy. He's always on the job. He's always on duty somewhere, like really trying hard to be with his family. But yeah, I mean, and we all, I mean, basically, we all have the same issue. Like when we're with our family and the client calls, or like an agency calls or something, and you are on the phone. Like basically, it's our story.
That's the modern life.
That's the modern
Yeah.
life.
Being online 24/7, being
Yeah.
reachable.
We don't, yeah, it may be good, may be bad, but that's what we all have to deal with. And yeah, so we try to weave this in and to also like show the little tension between, hey, shut off, be offline, but I can't. And then, you know, it turns out that he has to save everyone.
Well, the other thing that I really like about this is it was very easy for the film to be a popcorn film, an action film that had no real storyline, and it could have just been, you know, an hour and a half of pure action. But I like the fact that, you know, again, without giving too much away, there's a real moral dilemma at the end of the film, which says
yeah.
we all want to advance our careers. We know what it's like in this digital age of 24/7 on your phone and the internet and everything else. But sometimes it is so important to shut that world away and focus on what's really important.
Yeah.
We have our main hero, played by William Moseley, thought he did it, thought he changed his career for his family, which is something that maybe men do more often. They're like, but I did it. What do you want from me? But I did it. But in fact, they did not. They just shifted it. They made it different or made it appear for themselves that something is different now. But for the family, not much changed. And this is what he has to learn the very hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. And for example, his counterpart, played by Michele Morrone, he has a similar thing. Basically, he's a lost character, like from the very beginning. He's, you know, and once he's given the chance to, you know, change something in his life, miserable life, he takes the chance because like he lost everything and he gained something, and William had thought he had something and lost it. So like it's you know, someone gets elevated, the other one downgraded. But yeah, and that's why they both play very nice together because yeah, the one gets superior and the other one tries to keep up, and it's a strong fight between both.
It's very good, very good. When you were creating this, what influences from other films did you have? The one film that I know it's sort of towards the end, but the one film that really stood out to me, I thought Face Off. I could see elements of Face Off in there, which I really, really enjoyed.
Actually, sometimes it takes a long time for me to find, oh, this is why we directed that scene in that way. This is influenced by yeah. So we didn't take any direct movies saying, oh, we want to mimic this or that scene or this or that character. But I think all the movies that made us in the 80s are always in us. And sometimes we just say, oh, we did it this way because we saw whatever in the 80s. Let it be Back in the Future or Face Off or whatever. So we think the 80s and 90s influenced us a lot.
Exactly.
It really is a great cast, isn't it? Very, very lucky to work with such a fantastic cast. What did each of them bring to their role?
That was very funny. For example, Michele Morrone, like we had our character Bible developed for every character. And for example, when we worked with Michele Morrone, he had very different point of view he shared with us, and it made total sense. It made total sense because the thing is, I mean, again, we are open-minded. Like he wanted to introduce something to a character, and as it made sense, we decided not to force our vision onto him because, I mean, an actor is not just a face. You force a character role on it. If you make him be it, and if he adds something he feels is right, this elevates the whole role. And for him, he really pushed the limit. Same for William. I mean, William is a hardcore professional. Like the way he deals with guns and everything, he knows everything. Check, 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 check. Like he grabs the gun and he checks if the bullet's still in and empties it and the chamber is gone. And dot, dot, dot. So it's like you can really feel that they are so much into their character that we gave them a lot, but they added way more from their end.
And technically, we prepared a lot of stunt guys for the action that is happening, but both of them were so physical. You could hear the commotion from the gym in the hotel in the early morning, like the Christmas tree being right to the entrance of the hotel because it was shot around Christmas. And those two guys were rehearsing the action scenes in the gym of the hotel in the morning, which was amazing. And there's lots of female audience members who see the trailer for the first time and they realize we knew that Michele Morrone is ripped and that he's awesome. But the second they see William without the shirt, they're like, oh my God, these are worthy opponents. Awesome.
and I remember for the final fight, again, trying not to give away something, but it was really like we had prepared everything in a way that we can shoot close-ups with stuntmen and, you know, really, really physical, tough stuff. And in the end, both of them pulled it off. Like, of course, we have some scenes where we had like the stunt guys because they prepared it so annually, so perfectly, so we could not shoot them. But William and Michele together, the timing they have, like the finesse they gave into it, jaw-dropping, really jaw-dropping.
The fight scenes are so very impressive. I can imagine that it took a long time to choreograph them.
Yeah, for sure. They as Steffen said, they've been in the gym after a shooting day. They met in the gym. In the morning, they met at the gym. Very dedicated. Very much of they had so much dedication for it. It was really insane.
And of course, as both are very physical and are blessed with timing, they got everything much quicker than other people rehearse stuff for weeks and weeks and weeks. And if we see something and we want to change, and they could adapt it to whatever they did so easily and so quickly, so they didn't hurt each other, and they really landed the punches so close. And dealing with knives which are curved, the curvature makes it very hard to perfectly measure the length you will have to your opponent. So all of this was flawless.
And you have to say, you have to give it to Alexander Lee and Urasaya's Berbund as well, because Alexander Lee, he's a K-pop superstar, and they are used to dance a lot and, you know, remember choreographies, like that's their life. But making them fight with stuntmen and really do this, it was a different game. But all of them they all have such a good timing and body feel. They really nailed it. And also Urasaya, she had a couple of fight scenes and she really gave everything to it.
I think everything comes across fantastic. Like I say, the choreography, you can tell that it really is very specific. It's very on point. I just want to finish with a couple of questions. Obviously, with your background in visual effects, it must have been so important to you to make this a spectacle.
Yeah. There was. You go.
Thailand is a great starting point. Wherever you look, it looks amazing, which is half the rent. But if you know how to spice up everything, and we wanted to have the highest Hollywood standards, so people won't say, I'm not perfectly entertained. We wanted to entertain them visually as well. So we knew that even if something's looking good, we can make it awesome.
Yeah, and for us, the thing is, again, we shot a couple of hundred commercials, always with visual effects. For us, the visual effects, sometimes there's like, so where's your supervisor? Where is this? And we don't need it because we look at the screen, at the monitor, and we know this will work.
Yeah.
And then you tell that all you need to do is sometimes Steffen even grabbed the camera from Maher, our DP, and said, let me do it this way. And because you know what size the monster will be, or where you pan, where the hand will grab in. So that's all very intuitive for us. It's not that we spent a lot of thinking on set how to do it. We know that we will see it and then it will work. So it's just a tool.
There's actually not much thinking or discussion. It's just you feel the scenes and you roll with them. And if you're like, we're barely sitting at any point during a shoot day.
Yeah.
We're just always running with the actors and we're close to them. So you feel what's necessary for the scenes to work.
Yeah.
And one final question, and I don't want to give anything away here, but if there was an opportunity for a sequel, is that something you'd be interested in?
Well, we have the storyline ready.
Yeah.
So let's see how it goes. Of course, this story. I mean, Yggdrasil, the game studio already opened up such a beautiful universe, and we opened it up to a different direction as well. So like there is so much space for another story to be told. So yes, absolutely.
The story is ready. We're here to do it.
Alexander, Steffen, thank you so much for talking to me. I really do appreciate it. Rebirth Home Sweet Home is available on digital platforms on the 14th of April and DVD and Blu-ray from the 21st of April. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for talking to me, and best of luck with the film.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you so much. Well, awesome.